Previously on Historical Geocaching, my dad and I traveled to Moccasin Bend National Archeological District in Chattanooga, Tennessee to hear a ranger program about the Cherokee Indians and the Trail of Tears. So far, Ranger Chris Young has helped connect the idea of our having controversy in our own lives to the fact that the Indians had controversy in their lives as well.
You see, ever since the 1700s, the United States has been making treaties with the Cherokee Nation. And the Cherokee Nation gave up their land little by little. Until the 1830s, the Cherokee Nation spanned just some parts of North Carolina, Tennessee, northwest Georgia, and northeast Alabama. They had given up huge swaths of land to be relegated to this little space in this tri-state area. And it seemed like everything was going great. They had a constitution, they had an executive branch of government, a judicial branch of government, a legislative branch of government. They had their own written language now. Sequoia comes up with this language called Talking Leaves. They even have their own newspaper, the Cherokee Phoenix. They are doing everything that the U.S. government had wanted American Indians to do. They had assimilated to the point that they not only mimicked the U.S. government in laws, in having a language, but they were slave owners, they were farmers, they were teachers. And so they had assimilated to the point of where they were still trying to hold on to some of their identity, but giving up much of it so that they could stay on their land. Until 1830. And in 1830, the death blow occurs in the Cherokee Nation. The Indian Removal Act is signed into law. And in 1835, the Treaty of New Echota is signed. One of the biggest controversies within the Cherokee Nation itself. We think that our controversies may be bad in our own lives when we have spats with other people. But did you know that controversy in the Cherokee Nation in 1838 could mean that you were giving up your life for what you believed in? How many of us have been willing to do that? How many of us have been willing to fight so hard or believe so much in something that we were willing to lay our lives down? And those lives that may be laid down may only be for pure profit. You see, in 1835, there was a contingent of Cherokee, including Chief Joseph Van. If you've ever been to the Van House, has anyone been to the Van House before? Chief Van's house? Have you ever been down to Major Ridge's house in Rome, Georgia? Major Ridge is a signer of the Treaty of New Echota. Elias Boudinot is a signer of the Treaty of New Echota, who was the editor of the Cherokee Phoenix, the newspaper. These Cherokee who have been landed, who own other people, who are slaveholders, who own mercantile businesses, who are entrepreneurs, they sign away Cherokee land. The principal chief of the Cherokee, John Ross, tries to go to Washington to avert this. He takes with him about 13,000 signatures that he presents to Andrew Jackson, Congress of the United States, trying to hold on to the Cherokee land. But it's too late. It's too late. Those few Cherokee have signed away the nation's land. I want you to think about how you would feel. How would you feel if someone sold the land out from under you. You see, property here in the United States as Americans, we hold property dear. Property value is dear to us. Holding on to land, meaning that you have land, means something here. It was the same way for the Cherokee. And imagine someone being able to write that land away from you and you not having a choice or a say-so until it's too late. That you're going to be forcibly removed from your homes. Imagine going home after this tour today and what you see on your front door is a piece of paper nailed into your front door saying that you have X number of time, maybe X number of days or hours before you have to leave. That's what the U.S. government did. The U.S. government, the Army, says to the Cherokee Nation, you have until 1838 to get ready to go. And this is 1835. And if you're not ready, we're going to make you go. And the Cherokee fought it all the way to the Supreme Court and lost. And the Army comes in. And the Army is going to forcibly remove families from homes, families from their loved ones. I couldn't imagine having to leave my home, having to leave everything that I knew, giving up where my grandparents are buried, not being able to go back and to see them and to put flowers on their graves without a choice. That's what's happening. And the controversy comes because those 13,000 Cherokees see that those who signed that treaty have sold them out. They have sold out their people. To be able to get to the West first, and to be able to get the land first, and to be able to establish shops first, so that when the rest of the Cherokee get out there, they're already going to have the best land, they're already going to have the best shops, they're already going to have businesses that have food ready. So when the rest of the Cherokee get there, guess who they're selling to? Those who don't have anything. And so the majority of the Cherokee Nation would see it as that these few sellouts are making a quick buck off of the nation.
Next week on Historical Geocaching, learn why some of the Cherokee Indians signed away their land, what their situation was, and what their hopes were.